I want you to imagine finding an ordinary-looking penny in a jar of loose change. It's brown, worn, and barely gets a second glance. But what if that little coin was worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? What if one tiny detail, something most people never notice, could completely change its value? That's exactly why collectors still talk about the 1992 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first glance, the 1992 Lincoln cent looks like any other penny made in the United States. Millions of Americans handled these coins without giving them a second thought. They appeared in cash registers, piggy banks, vending machines, and pockets all across the country. Yet hidden among those ordinary pennies are a few pieces that have become highly desirable to collectors. To understand why, we first need to look at what this coin actually is. The 1992 Lincoln cent was part of the long-running Lincoln penny series that began in 1909. The coin features President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design created by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, 1992 pennies still carried the familiar Lincoln Memorial design, which had been used since 1959. In 1992, pennies were produced at multiple United States mint facilities. Coins made in Philadelphia generally carried no mint mark. Coins struck in Denver displayed a small D mint mark beneath the date. Because of that, a 1992 penny without a mint mark is not automatically rare. In fact, most Philadelphia cents from that year have no mint mark at all. This is where many people become confused. When collectors talk about a valuable 1992 no mint mark penny, they are usually not referring to an ordinary Philadelphia coin. They are talking about a very specific variety that contains a rare design difference. This variety is known as the 1992 close AM penny. To understand the story, we need to go back to the early 1990s. The United States Mint was preparing for a design change that would appear on Lincoln cents in later years. Small modifications were made to the lettering on the reverse of the coin. One of those changes involved the letters A and M in the word America. On most 1992 pennies, the A and M are separated by a noticeable gap. Collectors call this the wide AM design. That was the normal reverse used during the year. However, a tiny number of 1992 pennies were accidentally struck using a reverse design intended for a future year. On these rare coins, the A and M in America are extremely close together, almost touching. This created what collectors now call the 1992 close AM variety. The difference sounds small. In fact, it sounds almost insignificant. But in the world of coin collecting, small details can make all the difference. The mistake likely occurred when a proof reverse design or a reverse intended for later production was paired with a regular circulation coin die. As a result, a handful of pennies entered circulation carrying a feature they were never supposed to have. For years, nobody noticed. Think about that for a moment. Rare coins are often discovered immediately after they leave the mint. But this one slipped quietly into circulation and spent years passing from hand to hand. People used them to buy snacks, pay for gas, or receive change at a grocery store. Nobody realized they were holding something special. Eventually, sharp-eyed collectors began studying the design and spotted the unusual lettering. Once the discovery became known, excitement spread throughout the collecting community. Suddenly, people started searching through jars, rolls, and collections looking for the mysterious close AM penny. The coin itself is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. By 1992, the United States Mint had already switched away from the older bronze composition used before 1982. The penny weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of about 19 millimeters. On the front, Lincoln faces to the right. Above him appears the motto "I in God we trust." The word liberty sits to the left, while the date 1992 appears on the right. The reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial. Above it is the inscription United States of America, and below is 1 cent. The national motto E pluribus unum appears above the memorial. Everything looks normal until you focus on the word America. That is where the secret hides. On a genuine close AM variety, the A and M are much closer together than on standard coins. The spacing is dramatically different once you know what to look for. Collectors often use magnification to examine this area carefully. Another diagnostic feature involves the initials FG, representing designer Frank Gasparo. Their placement can help experts verify whether the coin is a legitimate variety. Because the difference is subtle, many people overlook it completely. A rare coin can sit unnoticed in a collection simply because nobody checked the spacing between two letters. So why is this penny valuable? The answer comes down to rarity. Billions of Lincoln cents have been produced over the years, but only a very small number of 1992 close AM pennies have been confirmed. The exact number remains unknown, but collectors generally agree that genuine examples are scarce. When something is both rare and highly collectible, demand often increases. Lincoln cents already have one of the largest collector bases in the United States. Millions of people search for date and mint combinations, varieties, and errors. When a rare discovery like the 1992 close AM appears, collectors naturally compete to obtain one. That competition drives prices higher. Condition also plays a major role. A heavily worn example can still be valuable because of its rarity. However, coins showing little wear and strong original detail are far more desirable. Uncirculated examples often command significantly higher prices. Over the years, certified specimens have produced impressive auction results. Some circulated examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition and authentication status. Higher-grade specimens have reached substantially larger figures. Certain examples certified by professional grading services have sold for several $1,000s, demonstrating just how much collectors are willing to pay for this unusual variety. Those values stand in sharp contrast to the coin's face value of just 1 cent. Imagine exchanging a penny for $1. That feels like a good trade. Now imagine exchanging a penny for thousands of dollars. That possibility is what keeps treasure hunters searching through old change. Of course, whenever a coin becomes valuable, counterfeits and misidentifications become concerns. So how can someone identify a genuine example? The first step is understanding that not every 1992 penny without a mint mark is rare. Most are ordinary Philadelphia issues worth only a small premium, if any. Next, examine the reverse carefully. Look at the word America. On common wide AM coins, there is clear separation between the A and M. On the rare variety, those letters appear much closer together. Using a magnifying glass or coin microscope can make the inspection easier. Collectors should also compare the coin with known reference images from reputable sources. Small design details matter. An inexperienced observer may mistake normal variations, wear, or damage for a valuable variety. Another important step is professional authentication. Major grading companies evaluate coins and determine whether they are genuine. Because valuable varieties attract attention, certification often provides reassurance for both buyers and sellers. If someone believes they have discovered a 1992 close AM penny, obtaining expert verification is usually a wise decision. The story becomes even more interesting when you consider how discoveries continue to happen. Even decades after the coin was minted, new examples occasionally surface. Some are found in inherited collections. Others emerge from old coin rolls that have been stored away for years. A few have reportedly been discovered simply by searching pocket change. That possibility creates an ongoing sense of excitement. Unlike many treasures that disappeared centuries ago, these coins could still be sitting in everyday places. There are also some fascinating facts surrounding the variety. Many people assume all valuable coins must be ancient. The 1992 close AM proves otherwise. A coin from the modern era can become highly collectible if it contains the right combination of rarity and historical significance. Another surprising detail is that the difference responsible for the coin's value involves only the spacing of two letters. No dramatic design change, no missing portrait, no unusual shape, just a tiny detail that most people never notice. Yet that tiny detail transformed an ordinary cent into one of the most talked about Lincoln penny varieties of the modern era. The coin also highlights an important lesson about collecting. Knowledge often matters more than money. Someone could spend thousands of dollars building a collection. Another person could find a rare variety in a box of old coins simply because they knew what to look for. Understanding the details is often what separates overlooked change from a remarkable discovery. Collectors love the 1992 close AM penny for several reasons. First, it is genuinely scarce. Second, it has a fascinating backstory involving an unintended design combination. Third, it remains accessible enough that people can realistically search for it themselves. Unlike famous gold rarities locked away in museums, this penny belongs to the world of everyday coin hunting. It represents the dream that a remarkable discovery might still be waiting in an old drawer, a forgotten collection, or a jar of spare change. For many collectors, that dream is irresistible. The 1992 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny may appear ordinary at first glance. Millions were produced, and most are worth only a cent. But among them exists a rare variety that transformed a common coin into a modern collectible treasure. All because of the distance between two letters. The next time you see a handful of pennies, take a closer look. Examine the dates. Study the details. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. After all, some of the most valuable discoveries are not made in buried treasure chests or secret vaults. Sometimes they are found in the coins we pass by every day. And somewhere out there, another rare 1992 close AM penny may still be waiting for someone to notice it.